Um, I now call the meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. A few administrative notes. Today's meeting is being recorded. Closed caption is available for each user by clicking the button on the toolbar below. You can submit questions to the Q&A function also located on the toolbar below. And commissioners will be keeping an eye on the Q&A throughout the evening. And if you are calling in rather than participating through the web, you may raise your hand by dialing 9. I'm going to skip the step of asking Secretary Howard to call the roll since we do not have a fourth commissioner here right now. If there is someone that is in the audience, please raise your hand and we can go from there.
Mr. Chairman, I think we could go ahead and call and get on the record those of us who are here. That way, when
That's
someone
fair.
shows up, we can just quickly do a quorum call at that moment.
Fair. Appreciate the insight. Yeah, Secretary Howard, can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Howard, I am here. Commissioner Grant, not here. Commissioner Hawker,
Present.
present. Commissioner Brown, not here. Commissioner Newland, not here. Commissioner Jacobson,
Present.
present. Commissioner Footer, not here. Mr. Chairman, we have 3 of the 7 recorded as here, so no quorum as of yet, but we'll do a quorum call if a fourth shows up.
Sounds good. Thank you. Per DC law, the ANC 1E meeting was noticed to the community via listserv, social media, website, and e-calendar. I'll go ahead and share the agenda for folks just so they can see what is on the agenda for tonight. Can someone confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. I already did the ANC administrative matters. We would next be considering the consent agenda, but we do not have the quorum right now. And then we'll have community announcements and presentations from several guest speakers, and then we can go through office and committee reports. We will jump right into the community announcements and presentations. So I will stop sharing. And up next, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, if I could have one word real quick. Just apologies to some folks. The recurring webinar credentials that we established long ago expired, so we had to reissue credentials. So some of you, if you had problems getting in, we apologize. That's the nature of Zoom. But the correct link will always be posted on our website and in the email we send out. So if you're relying on a link to constantly, like you bookmarked it or something, you need to update that. And that's at anc1e.org. You click on the meetings there, or the email that went out as a reminder. We also switched to a new vendor for our emails. So if you were having problems, please let us know. But I think it went through pretty well. And so we will always send you the information to there as well. On our anc1e.org, you can see the calendar on the homepage, which will have all the content and information you need for any of the committee meetings, any of the general body meetings, and their links will all be on that calendar page there to help make it easy for you. So it's just right there on the homepage, anc1e.org. If you have any questions, you can always just contact us and let us know. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Howard. But yes, up first we have Eliza Roche Robinson from the council member's office. I will go ahead and promote her to panelist. And just to save time, I will promote, I do not see Stephanie yet, so we will hold on that. And we are going to try something new tonight and actually use a timer since we say that we give folks 3 minutes. But we have a shorter agenda, so I'm just going to go ahead and say 5 minutes without objection.
Can you guys see me and hear me?
Yep. And can you
Awesome.
see the timer on my
Yeah,
screen?
that's cool, Josh.
Yes, thank you. Thank
Great.
you guys. I'm gonna try to go as quickly as possible, but my name is Eliza Roche Robinson, and I work for Councilmember Nadeau in Constituent Services. So I have a few updates to just run through. The first thing is on affordable housing. So the council member is using her final year on the council to push as hard as possible on increasing the number of affordable homes that we have in DC. So there are three major pieces of legislation that are currently moving through the council. Two of them will be heard in the Committee on Housing Monday, March 30th. So we encourage residents to testify. The first one is the Housing Production Omnibus, introduced with Councilmember Robert White, which would modernize how DC funds housing. It replaces the current Housing Production Trust Fund with a new Housing Opportunity Fund that is more flexible and better aligned with today's housing challenges. This new fund would include five dedicated funding streams focused on housing production, deeply affordable housing, preservation, tenant purchase opportunities, and acquiring land for housing development. The idea is pretty simple. One-off fixes are just not enough, and we need a system that will actually respond to the current market conditions to support both affordable and market rate housing at scale. The second bill the council member introduced is legislation to set housing targets across the district to be updated every 5 years. This ensures that every part of the city is contributing to meeting our housing needs and not just a few neighborhoods. And third is the One Front Door Act, which is expected to come before the full council soon. And this would update building codes to allow single-stair residential buildings up to 6 stories. This allows for more and larger units to be built, especially family-sized units, without sacrificing fire safety. Next, which is also related to housing, the district is currently working on its next comprehensive plan, also known as DC 2050, which is meant to guide long-term growth and development. The council member believes that this comprehensive plan should be a bold aspiration for how we want to see our city grow and how we support the communities within our city. However, the proposed updates to the future land use map are underwhelming and do not go far enough to increase density where it's needed. Um, so at the end of the day, for DC to be livable, people have to be able to afford to live here, which means that we need to pursue more housing in all parts of the city. So the council will have to have more work to do to ensure this plan reflects that reality. Next is the fiscal year 2027 budget. So looking ahead, the council will receive the mayor's proposed budget on April 1st. After months of oversight hearings, the council member will be reviewing the budget closely to ensure that it aligns with our shared values. She expects that the council will again face proposed cuts, particularly to programs that support low-income residents. The council member will fight to protect services and support that ensure dignity, safety, and stability, including restoring programs that have already been cut, which includes the Pay Equity Fund for early childhood educators and permanent supportive housing to help end chronic homelessness. Residents are strongly encouraged to testify during budget season, as your voices are very critical in shaping the decisions that are made. Information on hearings and signups will be available on the council website. Next is the Malcolm X park closure. So just a quick update, the park will be closed temporarily this summer for much needed turf restoration by the National Park Service. The council member understands the concerns about the timing, especially as we go into the summer, as that is a busy season, and is working to ensure that the closure is as short as possible and that residents are kept informed. At the same time, this work is necessary to preserve the park long term, and it must happen now while funding is available and conditions are right for restoration. The council member knows how much people love the park and want to access the space. That's why it's so important that the National Park Service does regular maintenance to keep it as a resource for our community. Lastly, our office is hiring for a constituent services specialist. So if you are interested, please let us know or reach out, or not reach out, but go to the council member's website. And I will take any questions if you guys have them.
Thank you. Commissioners, what questions do you have?
I do have a quick question. Some council members, and I don't know if Councilmember Nadeau is doing it this year, offer sort of a prep service or a practice session or a tip sheet for testifying during budget hearings. I've attended a few of those, and they're very helpful to sort of understand the best way to communicate your opinions and needs when it comes to budgeting. So I was curious to know what the office will be doing to sort of help folks get ready to express that interest.
I can absolutely let her know that that's of interest to residents. I'm not sure if that's something that she's planning on doing,
Okay.
but I'll absolutely ask her and
Yeah,
I
that
can
would be great to know because then we would love to push that information out, especially because it
absolutely.
can be a very intimidating environment. The more you can do to sort of assuage people or tell people what to expect, I think the better.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I'll follow up on that. Thank you for asking.
Members of the public, if you have any questions, you can either raise your hand, or if you are not on Zoom, if you're dialing in, you can dial 9 to raise your hand. And Enrique, I assume that's just for when you need to present for Ward 1 Mokers. But let me know if I'm misunderstanding. I'll go ahead and promote you to panelist since it'll be your time shortly anyway.
Is it
I
good?
guess oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say I can also drop my contact information if anyone is interested and has any questions.
Yes, thank you. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yep, yep. Just hold one moment, Enrique, unless you had a question for Eliza.
Yes, I did actually.
Oh, okay.
I was just to confirm because as well, I do share open positions with the council and just DC government as a whole. There are three similar positions as constituent service coordinator. I'm assuming that this position will be closed until filled, right? The other dates of like the previous February and January dates, these are not. This is still the same position, correct?
Yeah, so it is open until it's filled.
Okay, thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you. I have a rather esoteric question that I need help with DPW. And I can also put this in an email, but DPW, when there are delays in trash pickup, they will email commissioners, and their expectation is that commissioners have email addresses for every single constituent, which obviously we do not. But I learned that DPW has a data set online that lists all of the trash routes. And I'm trying to get DPW to confirm whether or not that data set that lists all the trash routes is accurate. And if so, can they match that data set with the routes that they put in their emails? Because the data sets online just have an ID, the emails that they send out just have a name. So there's not really a mapping between the two. Because if they could do that, then it wouldn't be that difficult to build some sort of subscription service so that if like trash pickup is going to be delayed, someone can get an email from DPW, or if this body is interested, we could just fund it since it isn't something that DPW currently funds and wouldn't be a duplicate resource. I don't know if that made sense, but I can send an email with it too.
No, that makes
Yes,
sense.
yes, and if you can, please do just so that I can send it to my predecessor Anthony Robertson, who moved on to DPW and is actually at the is the head of Clean City. So that data is definitely something that would be his purview, and I can definitely get that information for you.
Cool. I'll send it to both of you.
Thank you.
Good.
Any other questions from folks? Thank you so much for joining us, Eliza Rush. I'll go ahead and move you back
Thank
to
you,
an
guys.
attendee. Have a good rest of your night. Welcome, Enrique. I'm going to go ahead and start a timer. Are you ready to present or?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. You should see a timer on the top left of my video.
Thank you. So, thank you very much to the ANC. My name is Enrique Lopez. I'm the new Ward 1 liaison for the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. I just wanted to, again, thank you much for allowing me the time to be here. Some quick notes as well from the Mayor's Office as well, and if I'm allowed to share as well as on this as well.
Yep.
So, one of the main events that we wanted to share with the council as well, and with the general public that is here, hopefully you guys are able to see the screen that I'm sharing.
Yep.
So, as the mayor is wrapping up her final term, we at the Moker's office would like to invite the ANC as well as the general public of Ward 1 to her final 10th annual spring cleanup, which will be on Saturday, April 25th, starting at 10 a.m., which will be held at Banneker Recreation Center, the back portion of it. So this is her final one that we want to essentially invite in the entirety of the ward. So there will be essentially how it will begin is the initial cleanup section where we will have the like the major groups that come in, whether it be students that are looking to get community service hours. So we encourage all students and youth that are trying to get community service hours to join us as well, and the general public to join us as we are looking to make this a big blowout party essentially. And then once we conclude the cleanup, we will have essentially fun activities afterwards, as well as food afterwards to kind of turn this into a party for a spring cleanup. So I will be dropping this in the chat as well once I am finished. So therefore, please do share this with neighbors, colleagues, anyone that is within Ward 1 or just DC in general, as we are looking to make this as a big bash essentially. So looking forward to hopefully seeing all of you over there on April 25th. So, and I do apologize for not being able to be on video. Something's going on with my PCs. I'm not entirely sure what is happening, but aside from that, I just wanted to again reiterate and introduce myself as the new Ward 1 liaison. So, like Councilmember Jacobson had any issue with DPW or any additional concerns that the ANC or the general public may have, residents, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will be again leaving my contact information as well once I yield my time. So again, thank you very much. I yield my time.
All right. Thank you very much. Commissioners, what questions do you have?
None, and thank you, Enrique, for proactively introducing yourself. And
Yes, thank you. And we'd love to have that contact info.
You're on mute. I don't know if you're trying to talk.
I will go ahead and ask members of the public to see if they have any questions. They can either raise their hand or if you are on the phone, you can dial 9 to raise your hand. All right, I am not seeing any members of the public raising their hands, so we will go ahead and move on. Enrique, thank you so much for joining tonight. Really appreciate you sharing the cleanup opportunity with us and looking forward to working more with you.
Likewise, thank you.
Up next, we have Sean Moore. He's going to be presenting on lead-free DC. Okay, great. I see Sean is promoted now, and Enrique, I'm going to move you down to attendee.
Is that the timer alert?
Apparently,
That's
I
awesome.
was taking too long to hit X.
That is
I don't need
dramatic.
to be aggressive. It'll just do it for me.
They're really gonna play you off.
I know, it's like the Oscars, man. It's cool.
Hey Sean, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good.
Good to
All
hear.
right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Really excited to hear more about the lead-free initiatives that DC Water is working on. Did you have anything that you wanted to share screen-wise, or are you
Yes.
just gonna? Okay, go ahead and
Yes,
share your screen, and I'll.
I will share my screen, and also I did send you all a copy of the presentation that you can share with your constituents. Okay. Are you able to see my screen yet?
It is loading. Um, it has not quite gotten there yet, but I'm sure it will in a moment. I will let you know when it does load.
Because if not, I may. Has it loaded yet?
There we go. That's
Okay.
perfect.
All right. All right. So good
I'll go
evening,
ahead
everyone.
and I was just gonna say you have 5 minutes.
All right, perfect. Good evening. My name is Sean Moore. I'm with DC Water's Lead-Free DC program. I just wanted to come today to give you an update of what's happening with Lead-Free DC. In case you didn't know, Lead-Free DC is DC Water's plan to remove all 42,000 lead service lines from the district. As of, actually, I said the 17th, but as of today, we've actually replaced 11,662 service lines. So that makes us about 28.3% towards our goal. So the reason we're doing this, of course, is the health effects of lead. We recognize that there are serious health effects with lead. It's a powerful neurotoxin, and there's no safe level of lead. And exposure can cause damage to the brain, injuries to soft tissues. It's especially harmful for pregnant women and children. In children, you can have reduced IQ and attention span or developmental problems. And for pregnant women, it could cause miscarriage or other problems. So even for adults, there's significant challenges with exposure to lead. So when we talk about the service line, I'm specifically talking about the line that runs from the water main in the street into the house. That's two sides. There's a public side that runs from the property line from the water main to the property line, and then the private side that runs from the property line into your house. And the homeowner is responsible for all work in the private space. But with Lead Free DC, we get to do that work for you for free. So today I'm going to talk about, as I go here, that we're focused on removing lead and galvanized pipes, which both contain lead. The lead pipe on your left, you'll see that little bulb and that white oxidation. That's hallmark of the lead pipe, and the galvanized pipe you can see on the side with that tuberculation or gunk that fills up. So we're focused on, I'll tell you about a couple ways we're replacing service lines. First, we have our bi-block service line replacements, where we choose blocks based on a prioritization model, and we're replacing those lead and galvanized lines. District funding covers the full cost, so it's free for homeowners. We provide restoration in kind. We want to leave it as good or better than we found it. And two things have to happen. The homeowner has to sign up for it, complete their ROE, or they need to be home, or an adult needs to be home during the replacement. So right now, you'll see we have 30 blocks in the construction phase, 16 blocks that were added recently in pending construction. That's about 281 premises. Like I said, there's a full block list that's included in this presentation. These are our low engagement blocks. So these are the ones where we need the most help in trying to get residents to sign up. So if you recognize these commissioners, we would love to have your help and assistance in reaching out to these homes, reaching out to these blocks. Second way we're replacing service lines as part of our small diameter water main program where we're upgrading 12-inch and smaller water mains, as well as replacing fire hydrants and valves. And during that upgrade process, we'll do free lead service line replacement if we discover that you have lead. We have upcoming projects in the next 6 months. You'll see here, I think we have about 8 projects that are coming up. And again, this information is here for residents. We also have our LPRAP program, and we have quite a few homes that are eligible for LPRAP. LPRAP, you can go to our lead map, and if you click on your address in the lead map, if it says DOEE LPRAP application, that means you may be eligible for LPRAP, and you just need to go ahead and sign up for the program. So the key thing here is we need your help. In order to participate, you have to complete a right of entry authorization. And so we want everyone who's eligible, who's been contacted, to go ahead and fill out that right of entry form. It is a citywide program, so we want everyone across the city to participate. And I do ask that you look out for our door-to-door canvassers who are going around to talk to residents about lead-free DC. How can you help? Of course, encourage homeowners to sign up, share your experience. If you get that survey after replacement, please complete it. We certainly will come out and talk to any residents, participate in different community events, and come out and talk to you. Listen, I'm always ready to come out and talk about lead-free DC. So anytime, just let me know. This is our contact information for a few different departments in DC Water, but specifically, if you have questions, you can hit lead@dcwater.com, or 202-787-4044 is our lead hotline, or you can call me to request a presentation or for your community group, or let me know if you'd like us to come out. That's sean.moore@dcwater.com, or you can call 202-787-4049. And I'd like to also bring your attention to the dcwater.com, where we have all this information that I talked about today and lots of other program resources. And with that, I would like to thank the Academy for this time. I heard the music, so I do appreciate it.
Well done, Sean. Thank you so much. I know 5 minutes was a stretch for you, but you were very close to nailing it. So really appreciate you joining and talking about this important initiative. As a reminder for the audience, for folks who are in the attendees, if you have any questions, you can feel free to raise your hand. If you are dialing in, you can raise your hand by dialing 9. I see that Commissioner Howard had a question, so I'll let him go first.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Sean, thank you for that presentation and everything you're doing. I see you guys everywhere, so you're certainly making the effort known. I live in a 2-unit condo, and my neighbor handled a lot of the outreach, and there was a lot of confusion around, like, they were uncertain whether or not we had lead pipes, and it was kind of we weren't quite sure why they didn't know what was going on, and they apparently dug and then discovered that our pipes were fine. And so can you address that a little bit of that what y'all have to go through to see if the pipes need to be replacing at all? Because it was a little confusing on our end.
Sure. And part of the reason it can be a little confusing is that our records are incomplete. So a lot of times we may think there's some type of material, and we may go out and do the verification process and discover that there's something else. So with all of these projects, the way that we are able to verify it is we have to do 2 things. First, we do a point of entry inspection, where we look to see what the pipe material is, where it comes into the house. The second is we dig a test pit, and we'll do a test pit at the property line to see what the service line material is on both the public side and the private side. And we need those 2 pieces of information in order to do the verification. The reason why that is important is because the pipe material may change, and I've seen it change multiple times between the house and the street. So that's part of the reason why we do both of those verification processes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Howard, for that question. And Commissioner Hawker, I think you were raising your hand.
Yes. What is the situation with renting properties? Do you need to reach out to a property management company or something like that? Because I saw on a couple of those low outreach blocks, it's a
Mhm.
high rental area. So
Yes.
it could be that there are a lot of people who are unsure how to participate because they don't own the property. Could you talk a little bit more about how to go through that if you are a renter?
Sure. So, uh, based on the law, yes, the homeowner is the person who has to sign the authorization. What we can provide to you is a copy of our tenant toolkit, which is basically gives tenants some hints on how to talk to their landlords about the program.
Wonderful.
Every
Okay.
landlord should have received a notification if they're eligible, because we send that both to the home and to whatever the address of record is.
Gotcha.
But if a tenant is having difficulty, or they're getting information and the landlord's not signing up, then we can certainly provide them with those tools. And we're always looking to get updated records to make sure that we can reach out to that landlord as well.
And it's not necessarily the case of, most people who rent, the property owner might consider this an investment property. And so in the past, I've worked in other municipalities where if you're a renter, the replacement isn't free because the thought process is the landlord should pay for it because this is an investment property. But that's not the case in DC. It's much more focused on we want the pipes replaced than it is
Yes.
who should pay for it.
Every premise that's eligible, we're replacing it for free,
Great. Thank
regardless
you
of who
so
lives
much.
there.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then thank you, Commissioner Hawker. And then I had a question. I saw that there are some constituents of mine that have suspected lead pipes. Does DC Water have any like materials or, easy printouts that I can just print and drop off at their door to help them understand? Or
Yep, we do have materials and we can provide those to you. If you would just send an email to me or just reply to the email that I sent out to you guys, and just let us know, and we can bring that information out to you, as well as email you the files so you can distribute them. But we will certainly provide you with paper copies if you like.
awesome, thank you so much.
All right.
And I see, we'll move to members of the public, and I see that Mr. Nelson has a question, so I'll go ahead and allow him to talk. Mr. Nelson, you should be able to unmute yourself now.
Thank you so much. Sean, I have a comment more than a question. I'm a homeowner. I've owned my home since 1993, and there was more than one wave of this process going through in the time that I've lived here. But when it
Mhm.
recently was being pushed, I filled out all of the information online and got confirmation that I was approved. And then I called and got some contractors to come out and look at my house, and they basically told me they wouldn't do it because there are some houses, and mine is one in particular, where the water connection is not at the front of my house,
Mhm.
don't have a basement, and I really don't even have a crawl space. There's about a foot and a half between the bottom of my support beams and the dirt underneath my house.
Mhm.
And the gentleman, the one guy came out and looked at it and said that it was going to cost me about $5,000 out of my pocket to do it because they'd have to tear up my floor and dig through there because they got to get in to get the pipe out. So I just want to bring that to your attention that there are some properties in the district that is as much as you guys are touting that the district's going to pay for it, there are some exceptions to that where homeowners will have to put out money to get it done. And I mean, I'm not personally that concerned about it because I live by myself and I filter all my water that I drink. So, but I know I have a lead line. I was told that when I bought the house back in 1993.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to put that on your radar screen that there are some issues with some houses in the district that will not be able to participate in the program unless they're willing to do a whole lot of extra work and extra cost out of their own pocket to replace it.
So just to address that, so a number, I'm not sure because I don't know where you live, which program you would be a part of, but it sounds like it could have been the LPRAP program, uh, which is a little different. I'm really focused here on the buy block program. And as a part of our program, we will work with you to address the unique situation that is present at your house. I know, we've had lots of unique situations because every house in the district is different, and we know some of them are very, very old. So in that case, when we're working through this program, we know that there are going to be some challenges. And, as part of our buy block, if we contact you, we will work with you to find a solution to get your service line replaced. And it will
Okay.
be free for you.
So then, one final question. How do I determine I mean, I have the emails that were sent to me confirming that I was approved. How do I
Mhm.
determine whether your program is the one that I signed up for?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, if you could send, and I know I put my email in the chat, if you could just send an email to me directly so we can talk offline and I can walk you through and kind of try to answer questions, and address any issues or concerns with your individual situation.
Okay, I will certainly do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nelson, and feel free to reach out to me if you need Sean's email address. I'm going to move you back to attendees. Any other questions from attendees? All right, seeing none. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Moore, for joining us tonight and for your work on this initiative. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, you as well. Good night.
Good night. All right, we are now on other community announcements. So members of the community and commissioners can use this time to make public announcements, distribute information, or alert the community about issues. Speakers will have 3 minutes. Commissioners, do you have any announcements? And I'll move to members of the public. All right, members of the public, if you have any announcements, feel free to raise your hand, or you can dial 9 to raise your hand if you are on the phone. All right, seeing none, we will move on to officer and committee reports. I'll go ahead and share my screen again. Up first, we have Transportation and Public Space Committee with Ms. Ellie Batal. I did not see her in the audience, but she can raise her hand if she is here and has any announcements. Otherwise, I can give a quick update. The committee did not meet this month, but they will be meeting on Wednesday, April 1st. Wow, April 1st at 7 p.m. There will be a short presentation on updates to the Georgia Avenue Bus Priority Project. Up next, we have the Zoning and Economic Development Committee with Mr. Dimitri McDaniel. I'll go ahead and allow you to talk. How are you doing tonight, Mr. McDaniel?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Great. Just we had a couple of things at our last meeting. I'm just trying to pull up my notes here. The main one being what you have listed there, the sort of warranty bond issue with the condominium. There was a modified sort of resolution, draft resolution, with like clear directions, possible FOIA history, developer information, um, communications with OAG to proactively investigate failure, as it pertains to a lack of the warranty bond and any sort of time bar or response from governmental agencies. I don't believe, since there's no quorum, that that resolution made it to the folks here yet, or has it?
Uh, we will be going through the resolution. Depending on if a fourth commissioner joins tonight, we may need to move it to the actual voting of it as a commission to another meeting.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll be going through that whenever you're done with your updates.
Okay. Yeah, and beyond that piece, which you'll hear about a little bit later, we had a presentation by the DC Office of Planning on DC 2050. If folks wanted a copy of that slide deck, that has been shared with the committee members, but happy to share it broadly or have you all share it broadly if folks would like to see that. And really for the next upcoming meeting for April 8th, we'll be having, there are no cases or presentations that I'm aware of. So if folks know of anything, please let us know. The main thing that we're all pretty excited for is the Howard student mock Board of Zoning sort of case that they'll be presenting at our upcoming committee meeting. So we're excited to sort of participate with the students there. And yeah, that's it for the Zoning and Economic Development Committee.
All right, thank you. And I will note, since there was an item on the consent agenda, just for folks' awareness, Howard University has a small tweak to their campus plan to allow hair services in their dorms that will just be for students, two specific dorms. Since this is relatively non-controversial and they don't actually have to do a presentation for the zoning commission, we added it to the consent agenda, but wanted to just flag that for folks.
Mr. Chair, if I could, the presentation that Dimitri referenced from DC 2050, Dimitri, if you'll send that to me, I'll make it a part of the official minutes. That way it'll be out there for everyone.
Great. I will send it to you right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jacobson, just a quick question. Settlement agreements, which committee do they fall under?
Zoning and economic development.
Okay, am I allowed to make a quick comment then?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to apologize because I think there was just a little bit of overlap miscommunication, and I had reached out to Doubles or Sunny's No Kisses, believing that they were up for renewal and possibly a review of their settlement agreement. I don't know how I messed this up, and this is my fault, so I apologize to the constituents and business owners. It's actually Hook Hall, and I know that some constituents came to the previous Zoning and Economic Development Committee meeting to discuss the renewal and possible changes to the settlement agreement. So I will be beginning that process with the correct business this time. So I just wanted to give a brief update on that, and I will provide an update to the committee and then the committee of the whole as well as soon as I know more.
Are you planning on having that on our committee soon
It
or
it
later
depends
on?
on what I can get in terms of contact for both the constituents and the business owners. I don't know if they will be available to meet so swiftly in April. So as soon as I know what their arrangements are, I doubt I will be able to present anything um, for this upcoming meeting, but perhaps in May. So I just wanted to let everybody know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hawker. We will go ahead and present the resolution. Commissioner Howard, there was some feedback from the ZED meeting that I just added into the resolution. More so just more information requests since it made sense to do that. And I'm having some login issues, so just give me a moment as I pull up the resolution.
Well, while you're doing that, happy to kind of lead it off, and then I want to recognize
Yep.
Dimitri as well for helping get it across the finish line. Dimitri, I thank you for your work. I had a work crisis come up that sent me back into Arizona for a couple weeks, and so I really appreciate that. But I'm introducing resolution 0302 because I think what happened here is, for those who aren't familiar with where we're going with this, it involves the condominium complex at 3619 Georgia Avenue Northwest. Under DC law, a developer is required to post structural defect warranty security before residential condominiums are conveyed. This requirement, while it sounds super technical, is important because it protects homeowners if serious structural problems emerge after they purchase the condo. So this particular condo at 3619 Georgia Avenue was registered with DHCD in 2020. A certificate of final occupancy was issued later in October 2021, and the first sale was recorded in December 2021. Yet the Unit Owners Association, I think there are several unit owners here today, they provided documentation that as of today, DHCD has no structural defect warranty security on file for the property, which is a big concern, because that means that they are out the cost for a lot of these repairs that are very much needed right now. I'll let them speak to some of that. But basically, anybody who purchased a home, the folks who purchased units there did so without the protection that the law requires. And they are not dealing with this in the abstract by any means. They've already spent approximately $50,000 investigating and mitigating structural defects in the absence of that security. So this, and not to mention, they're all dealing with a bunch of individual repairs, some of which are in thousands, that are clearly tied to, in my opinion, the structural integrity of the unit.
Commissioner Howard,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt. Just want to make a point of order that we have a fourth commissioner, and that I would like to return to the orders of the day really quick.
Yes, sir. I'll pause and connect this.
Yes, great. So first item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda more formally. We've already gone through some of the agenda, but
I move to
I will
adopt
now
the agenda.
Yep. All right, do I have a second? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Great. Okay. 4 out of 4. The agenda is adopted. We'll move on next to the consent agenda. All matters on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Any commissioner may remove an item for the consent agenda by request. A motion to adopt the consent agenda is non-debatable. We have approval of the ANC 1E public meeting minutes from February 2026, a resolution supporting the Howard University campus plan amendment to allow hair services in Howard dorms, and then commission authorization to OENC for supply registration renewal. This is just a fancy way to say that they are allowed to direct deposit our disbursements, so we don't have to deal with that. I'll accept a motion to adopt the consent agenda unless there are any concerns.
I move with unanimous consent to adopt the consent agenda.
Is there any dissent? Great. Okay. Now we are back to your presentation, Mr. Howard, and continue on.
And just for the record, I want to return just real quick to the roll call. Commissioner Newland.
Oh, fair point.
Are you present?
Present.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, with 4 commissioners present, we do have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, coming back to here. So basically, there are 2 big questions that these unit owners are trying to determine first, did the developer fail to comply with the law? And secondly, how did this happen? Because DHCD's processes are designed to make sure that this security is on file so that unit owners are not out all these expenses that are tied to the developer's structural defect and not anything they've done. So
Sorry, I'm gonna.
no worries.
I'll give you a little bit more time since we took some of yours.
My resolution is simply designed to get answers. It requests that DHCD provide written certification as to whether structural defect warranty security was ever posted for this condominium. And if not, confirm that no such security is on file. It also requests the complete condominium registration file, including submissions, approvals, correspondence, and documents related to the warranty security. It also asks the agency to explain what verification procedures were in place in 2020 and 2021 before the units were conveyed. We also request from the Department of Buildings to provide the complete permit file and certificate of final occupancy issuance record. This essentially will help us clarify whether or not the security is part of the formal process that resulted. And because this may involve a clear statutory compliance issue, the resolution asks the Office of the Attorney General to proactively investigate the developer apparent failure to post the required warranty security and to confirm whether any prior referral investigation exists. I've already asked them to do that. They have said they do not provide that, but we're going to try it again with resolution. This is not about jumping to conclusions. This is about transparency, accountability, and making sure residents get the documentation and answers they need in time to pursue whatever legal or warranty remedies may be available to them. And just, this may seem like a super isolated incident, but this is bigger than any one building. If a required protection could be skipped here and screw some homeowners out of money, that could happen to anyone who purchases a condo in this city. So with that, I urge you all to support this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Howard, for your work on this. Just for transparency, I'll mention the clauses that I updated in here. So there was this whereas clause that was updated to call specifically out the IFG group since that is the developer. And I added in this clause in the resolve clause around asking the Office of Attorney General to proactively open an investigation. I know you said they don't do that, but we should just put it in.
Well, so they wouldn't reveal whether or not they've done any investigative work, but we can certainly request them to proactively investigate.
Okay. I see Commissioner Hawker has her hand raised.
If I may swiftly suggest whether this be in the language or just a formal request, I'm going to flip my badge over from ANC back to Philippa works for the Office of the Inspector General hotline, wherein the Office of the Inspector General would love to receive a copy of this resolution and would provide any information on the disposition of an investigation, whether it was opened or transferred. So if you would like to formally request an agency with oversight powers begin to investigate this issue, the Office of the Inspector General would be a great person to add to the list of contacts for this issue. Okay, switching the badge back to ANC.
I would welcome that as a friendly amendment, Mr. Chair.
So are you saying that we just need to transmit it to OIG, or should we add a resolve clause?
Okay, I'm going to switch it back to OIG. Transmit it, and this investigative analyst for OIG will open a case. Back to ANC.
Okay. Okay, cool. Just edited it. Commissioners, any other questions or comments?
No, I know we may have some residents here today, so I would love to hear from them.
Yeah, for folks in the audience, you are more than welcome to raise your hand, or you can hit 9 if you are dialed in, and we are happy to hear your commentary or testimony. Kia, you should be able to talk now. You might need to unmute, and please correct me if I'm mispronouncing your name.
No, that was the right pronunciation. Thank you so much. I'm here representing the board today for the 3619 Georgia Avenue condominium, and just want to thank the committee for taking time to review this and to work on this resolution. It's been something that's been really frustrating for a number of years for our residents, especially those who were some of the first that moved in the building. And I think this is important, and it ties into other themes about our neighborhood where we're talking about creating more housing so that we can have more affordable housing. And, you know, this kind of issue really makes it so that, we don't feel confident that this building will, enable us to live here for a number of years. We've got 27 units, and that could mean 27 families. So there's a big human impact here. And, we kind of, for many of us, it's our first home purchase. And we kind of had this sort of expectation that the law would be followed. And in this case, it's really seeming that that it was not. So again, this is really just about that clarity, trying to understand and document what has happened. And then hopefully we can enforce that this doesn't happen again for the next folks. So I just appreciate the time, and if there's any questions, I can answer them.
Thank you, Kia. Really appreciate it, and sorry that you're going through this. It's was going to swear, and I shouldn't do that on here. It is a bad situation.
Yeah. Kia, would you mind sharing a little bit about some of the problems you all are experiencing?
Yeah, sure. So I think our biggest issue is with water intrusion. So again, we have 27 residents, and a good number of them have had issues with respect to the facade of our building. The way it was installed has created water intrusion, which has been confirmed by our engineer team that we've had to engage with. So that has been causing a really big problem with some residents not even being able to use whole rooms in their homes. And where there's water, there is mold. So that is obviously a significant health risk as well. In addition to the paneling, so the facade of the building, we are also starting to see significant issues with the roof due to the way it was installed. So right now we're actually trying to investigate what the issues are with the roof and try to come to an agreement on or a path forward on how we could mitigate this. And this is just the investigations alone have been thousands and thousands of dollars. So we're kind of all paying out of pocket for this, even though our bill, even though we started seeing and documenting these issues before the final unit was conveyed and before the what was I trying to say? We started to document these issues within the 2-year time frame of the first resident moving in, which we believed that if we had that documentation, then it would be covered under warranty. And a lot of these issues have really just continued moving forward in the last few years. That's the biggest structural issue. And then there has been some issues that have also caused headaches for folks with respect to the plumbing in the building. We experience a sewage smell a lot of the year, and lots of folks have had their shower pans leak due to improper installation, which of course affects the unit below you. So there's kind of like this scale from, oh, that's potentially annoying, but hey, we're homeowners now, to, oh my gosh, how would we ever buy a new roof for this building? So that's kind of, it's just creating a lot of uncertainty about what the future is going to look like.
Sorry to
Sorry
hear
you're going
that.
through all that.
Yeah.
Kia, I do have just a quick question, which is, have you engaged with any of the DC agencies that were originally involved in the building process or engaged with any agencies that could provide oversight or remediation for this? I'm just curious, or is this sort of the beginning point with this resolution? Is that
It's not the beginning
okay?
point. We've definitely tried to leverage whatever we measures that we could. So we have sent a FOIA request to DHCD, which we which supposedly confirmed that there was no structural defect warranty provided. We've also tried to, engage with others. I have a list somewhere I can kind of pull up, but yeah, we've been trying to get someone to listen to us. I know personally, I responded to the for my own unit. I sent a request for um accessing the bond for my unit, and nobody even answered my email. So it's just been kind of a lot of lack of response, I would say, or lack of caring. So I can't find the list of who all we've reached out to, but this has been a problem that we've been seeing for at least 3, 4 years now. So over that time, we've done what we can.
Well, thank you for sharing, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry that it's happened, but I am glad to hear that you've got a lot of records. And my question to you is, it sounds like already that the board is willing to sort of speak with one voice and like communicate with DC agencies in like one voice. It sort of seems like everyone has like the similar goal of pursuing paperwork. So I just wanted to ask about that from a perspective of like how would any oversight agency move forward? So it seems like you might
Absolutely.
be the point of contact for everyone in the building.
Here tonight, I'm representing the building, but I'm the HOA vice president. So I will make sure that whatever communications need to be disseminated, they will be. And our board
Perfect.
typically does speak with one voice.
Okay, great. And then I assume your single member representative is Commissioner Howard, is that correct? Okay, Commissioner Howard, I will reach out with you on a more official basis about pursuing investigation with DC agencies.
Yeah, thank you for the tip there.
Hmm?
And I have submitted official requests for records through DOB, Department of Buildings. They have not responded. To DHCD, who has not responded, and to the Attorney General, who very quickly responded, but said, first they said they couldn't confirm whether or not there was any investigation into anyone. And then secondly, they said that my request was outside the scope of services they provide to commissioners. So not much help there. Because what I basically said was, let's just play the hypothetical. If this happened, what does that mean? And they're like, we don't do that for commissioners. So hence the resolution. And I'm going to follow up with my individual request. I followed up with them today. The original deadline was March 6th, so we've been more than kind of free here. And essentially just we asked DOB, just give us all the files you've got. I know they've got an FOI request as well, and then this resolution. So those are the three agencies we've interacted with so far. The OIG is a good rec. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
It's like you
But
didn't even remember me.
I
I'm
know it's just,
offended, Commissioner Howard. But anyways, Commissioner Howard, let's you and I speak later and see
okay.
what we can do to keep this moving.
And I do again want to recognize Dimitri, who picked up the baton at the zoning meeting that I could not attend. So thank you, Dimitri. I didn't know if you wanted to say anything either.
No, nothing else. I think everyone has covered it, but I'm happy to be a part of this with you all.
Well, with that, Mr. Chair, I would move we accept this by unanimous consent.
All right. Is there any dissent? Or sorry, there's been a motion to adopt this resolution by unanimous consent. Is there any dissent? Hearing none, the motion is adopted with 4 votes in favor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Howard. Up next, we have Public Safety and Engagement Committee. I already spoke with Commissioner Newland about this. I know he's doing some childcare duties tonight, so we'll give his update for him. He shared that there were no new updates for the PSE committee. The next meeting is on Monday, April 6th at 7 p.m. And if he wants to disagree with any of that, he can let me know. Come off mute. Totally okay if not, though. And with that, there are no other items on our agenda. Anyone else on the committee or on the commission have anything? If not, I'll accept a motion that we adjourn.
Real quick, earlier in the meeting, I wanted to, if you wanted to tout the membership for the Lower Georgia Avenue
Oh, yes.
committee, because they can still fill that out at anc1e.org/survey.
Yep. And we actually have some pretty good responses so far, but I will drop that in the chat because it's a good thing to advertise in case there's anyone else that wants to join. And this will be a committee for the this is the Georgia Avenue Economic Development Special Committee.
It was featured in our newsletter. If folks want to check their emails, they can see it there.
And there it is in the chat. Yep. Good evening, Jean. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I just wanted, you said the public safety meeting is going to be on Monday, April 6th, and I'm looking at your calendar and it says Monday the 13th.
Oh, that is a good fact check. It is almost certainly Monday the 13th, then, if that's what the calendar says.
Okay. I just want to double check. Thank you.
No, you're good. I appreciate that. Anyone else? Okay, I will accept a motion to, Commissioner Hawker is.
I am very sorry. I just wanted to alert the community in a general announcement around public safety, that the council has recently reviewed a couple of police transparency bills. One was signed by the mayor, one was vetoed by the mayor when it comes to the transparency and availability of records, especially considering joint patrol and joint action with federal agents. So I did just want to let everyone know, and I think it could be up to the committee whether or not we would like to make a resolution, or if the Public Safety Committee would like to consider as a potential resolution the support of one, both, neither of these transparency bills. I did want to bring that to everyone's attention because I do think it will have a very significant effect on public safety and feelings of safety in our neighborhoods. So I did just want to bring that to attention. We may, approve or disapprove, but I do think it's something we may want to consider discussing.
Thank you, Commissioner Hawker. Do you want to follow up with Commissioner Newland on that offline?
Absolutely, I will. I just wanted to, like I said, bring that to the committee's attention.
Appreciate you bringing that up.
I move to adjourn.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed and abstentions? All right. Motion passes to adjourn with a vote of 4-0 at 8:14 p.m. on Wednesday, March 25th. Dates are hard for me. Baby brain is real.